Okay guys, welcome back. So let's see what we can do about this header. We'll start with the top dark area. So open Coda. Let's do a new section here, and let's see what it's called. Top menu container. Actually, first let's do the main header, since it has these effects right here on the bottom: the shadow, the inner shadow, the stroke. Let's go ahead and do that. So what was it called? Main header. Main header. We'll do a background white. We'll do the border bottom 1 pixel solid. We'll do border color. Okay, next is the tricky bit. This is the box shadow. Now if you use this, the box shadow, you can specify multiple shadows. So we'll begin with the inner one. We're gonna say inset. We'll start with 0 for X, -5 for Y, 0 for blur, and the color is going to be bevel color. Okay. Now if we take a look, as you can see, there is this little inner shadow that we just made. Okay, next let's add the outer shadow, So we're going to say 0, 0, 5 pixels for blur, and border color for color. Okay, and that added the color. Pretty cool. Next, let's copy this and we'll create a WebKit version. And the last thing, since we're here, let's do a margin bottom of 3 ems. Okay, so we're just pushing the content down. Okay, now we have a canvas to work on. Let's see about the top navigation. Let's see, top menu container. We'll target this. We'll start with background, dark color as a fallback color, and we'll say URL images, and we called it top container BG. dot gif. Okay, and 0, 0. This means it starts from the top left. You can leave a repeat out of it. It's there by default. Okay, let's have a look. There it is. That's the background. Now for the menu. So the menu, sorry, I closed that by mistake. The menu is in a nav with a class of top menu navigation. So top menu navigation, UL. And the first thing we'll do is target the first level list items. And then we'll target the anchor tags. Let's do float left for the list items. Okay. And for the anchor tags, we'll start by changing their color to light text color, removing the underline. So we'll say text decoration none. Changing their font size. So we'll do 12 pixels. Actually, I'll keep it at 14 pixels, even if I put 12 here. I think it should be consistent with the rest of the layout. So 14 pixels there. Yeah. Okay. What else? Let's get rid of the sub items. Okay, so list item will target the lists, the nested lists. I will say display none for now. Okay, and we'll do display inline block for the anchor tags. And that means we can apply paddings, margins, widths, heights, and so on. In my case, I'll do height. I'm gonna do 1.5 ems, and I'm gonna say line height 1.5 ems. And that doesn't work. Why aren't you working? No, inline block is correct. Text decoration, height 1.5 ems. Alright, well this should be equal to 21 pixels. Oh, and it is actually equal. I'm being okay, there we go, 3 ems. So what I did was just basically put a height and a line height to the same element, so that it's perfectly aligned in the middle. And why 3 ems? Well, 3 ems equals 42 pixels, which is a multiple of 21, which is our line height, And if you remember, right back here, our baseline grid was 21 pixels. So all I'm doing is just keeping the heights of the elements and the margins and the paddings equal to multiples of 21, just to maintain that baseline grid as much as possible. Okay. So let's see what else. We can actually space these out a bit, like let's say margin right. Let's do 1 em. Okay, and that will space them out. And actually, I still think they need to be 12 pixels. A bit smaller. Yeah, that's a bit better. Now the problem is, since we used 12 pixels, 3em isn't equal to 42 anymore. It equals to 36. So we're gonna have to input those values manually. Okay, there we go. All right, now I also want to add some separators between these elements. So let's do before content. We'll do like a pipe. We'll do position absolute, and we'll do position relative. Okay, and let's change the font size for this to about 10 pixels so that it's a little smaller. Now I'm gonna do a padding left of 1 em. Padding left of 1 em to the anchor tag. Okay, and set the, okay, there we go, and set the the pipe all the way to the left. So now it creates these nice separators. Actually, we can do it the other way. We can do it right and change padding right here, like this. And I think that looks just a bit better. I'm gonna change the top to like -2 pixels or -1. And I'm gonna change its color to a darker color than the color of the text. So I'm gonna say darken light text color by about 30%. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So what I did here, just to recap, on the anchor tag, I applied a before pseudo element. Content is the pipe element, position absolute, lower font size. I put it all the way to the right and then gave it a nice color. Okay, the position relative on the anchor tag is required for the position absolute on the pseudo element to work. Okay, so one final thing here is to do a hover state on the anchor tag. And I'm just going to change the color to white. Oops, sorry. Perfect. Okay, so maybe you're wondering what's up with this ampersand. Well, if you're nesting properties in less, then using ampersand means you're applying whatever is after it to its parent element. So in my case, I'm applying the hover class to the anchor tag. Same goes with before. Yeah. Okay. So we're pretty much done with the top navigation. Of course, we have to make the drop-down menu work, but for now, this will do, and we'll cover the drop-down menus when we get to the other menu. We'll do it all at once. Let's move down to the logo.